Hello, everybody, and welcome to Electric City Sentai Denzicaster, your weekly look into the wonderful world of Tokusatsu. I'm your host, Mike, and this week I'm joined by...
Joe Gibkins' homeboy, Josh Crawford. Woot woot! What's up?
Yes, one of the hosts of Chopsaki Cinema is here with us, and it's just the two of us, which, it's been a while, but you know what that means. Johnny Sokko and his flying robot. It's been months since we've done anything with this show. But today, we have just checked out episodes 5 and 6. Yep. And I must give props to Shout Factory for the DVD release.
Nice package, yeah.
Yes. No, they did not give it to us for free. This is not some gratis sponsored thing. It's just give credit where it's due. It's a really good release. And I do recommend it. It's 4 discs. Really nice artwork on the inside.
They even did some like aftermarket enhancements, like they actually did like subtitles for the different headquarters and stuff too.
Right, like to sort of replace the Japanese subtitles that were already there. And it comes with this really cool booklet, which actually includes a essay by August Dragoni, who is a renowned tokusatsu expert here in the U.S., on the making of Johnny Sokko and his flying robot.
Oh, wow.
And it even includes an interview with Mitsunobu Kaneko, who played Johnny Sokko. He passed away in 1997, but they do have this interview reprint in here from that, I believe, unless I'm horribly mistaken. This was pretty much his only big role. He was actually asked in 1979. He did this show in the 60s, but he was asked specifically when? 1967. But he was actually offered the role as Kamen Rider in the Kamen Rider reboot in 1978, the show that became Skyrider.
Huh.
And he turned it down.
Huh.
But there you go.
I guess maybe he didn't want to be typecast. I don't know.
Maybe. Though he did actually audition in 1984 to be one of the villains in the Kamen Rider Z-Cross TV special. He didn't get the part, but there you go. So the 2 episodes we are looking at today. Episode 5, The Gigantic Claw, in which Dr. Tadakura develops the QQV Super Metal.
Ask for it by name.
Yes. Which is transparent. He tests it. It endures all the attacks of giant robots.
No sells the crap out of all of them.
Yes.
Like missiles, punches, harsh language.
Yes. Takes it all right in stride. Emperor Guillotine envisions a use for the substance. He wants to create a fleet of stealth ships. Basically, imagine an entire squadron of Wonder Woman's invisible jets. And sends the gigantic metal claw to retrieve it for him. And then episode 6 is Dragon, the Ninja Monster. And in this episode, a reptilian monster called Dragon, which is from Emperor Guillotine's home planet, swallows a jet plane from the Commonwealth of Sordia. Don't worry if you've never found it on a map or heard of it, folks. As it is flying, and then steals an atomic submarine from the equally fictional Furin Cove Republic when it's underwater, causing the nations to blame each other and escalate tensions into a potential world war.
That's interesting, because when the thing we watched, they called it Albion.
They did. The actual dubbing gave different names.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if these synopses are more from Giant Robo than the other. It was Albion and Sylvania.
Sylvania, yeah.
In the dub. But of course, it's up to Unicorn to unravel the evil gargoyle plot. So,
which they didn't. Which, spoiler alert, they didn't unravel crap.
No, they really didn't. So, what did we like about these 2 episodes?
Actually, I really liked the Gargoyle Gang in these 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were pretty much running the game from the jump. They were a step ahead of Unicorn always.
Right.
And that, and just at this point, I agree with you. You made the comment about Spider, the gargoyle like lieutenant. That at this point they should have a picture of Spider in every unicorn installation across the world.
Yeah.
If you see this dude, don't let him in.
Yeah. Basically, he's in disguise in both episodes. Gets past unicorn security, their crack security staff in both episodes, and what makes me sit there and go, how do they not recognize this fool? Is because Johnny
refers to him by
name. He recognized him. Johnny Sokko recognizes him. His partner, whose name escapes me at the moment because I'm a horrible person.
Let's call him U3, but I'm probably wrong about that too.
Yeah, U3 and U7. So Johnny and I swear to God, his name is in here. It has to be somewhere. How can it? Wait a minute. He is apparently so unimportant a character for this that they don't put his name in any of the synopses. Well, anyway.
So yeah, he's U3.
Yes. They both know who this guy is on sight, and yet
he's got shifty eyes.
Yes,
like super shifty eyes,
and like that pointy chin, and that mouth that somehow. You just envision in your head the stereotypical Japanese, like, Yakuza villain. And it's Spider. That's who it is.
I sincerely hope this guy got a lot of work playing shifty villain guys.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like one. And then just, in the first one where they pretty much, because they go to meet with the Unicorn Security Council, and they're like, oh, wait. We didn't have any bugs. They can't bug us here. We're unbuggable. And then at that point, Johnny and U3 are like, here's one, and another one, and another one. And there's 4 bugs in the room. And then like, now we can talk. And then you see an actual bug that happens to be a listening device go down. And then Spider, of course. And I wrote, it's
actually a spider.
It's a spider bug. And Spider finds out what they're going to do anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous when one stops to think about it.
And then in the episode with Dragon, because of the rising tensions between the two republics, the Unicorn, in their infinite wisdom, decide to gather every single leader that they have in one room.
Yes.
In their secret base that's so super secret, they have a flag.
Yes.
With the unicorn symbol on it.
Yeah. It's an island that nobody knows it's there or heard of it or anything like that. And we're honestly, folks, we're not giving it grief, and it's Jerry. Jerry's the other cat. So, I finally found his name in the book. Jerry Mono. So, we're giving it grief, but it was highly entertaining because I'm getting the feeling at this point, Unicorn has less in common with MI6 and more in common with Control from Get Smart.
Yeah, I can see that. And, like, again, crack security from Unicorn. The Gargoyle Gang's plot to get in there is basically right up like Untouchable style. Yeah. And gun down the guys at the front gate and just roll in.
Yeah. They show up, looks like a mob hit from a gangster movie, and it's just kind of ridiculous when you stop and look at it. And it's Spider now impersonating the Canadian Unicorn Chief, which I don't know why they decided he was the Canadian Unicorn Chief. It was like we have our quota of fake nations for this episode, so we now have to use a real one.
It's they use fake nations, but they'll still like reference like India and Canada.
Yeah.
And because in that episode where they're trying to get all the oil reserves, that was another fake nation.
It's another fake nation. But maybe it's just like anytime there were tensions or an attack or something like that, they made something up instead of using a real nation for it. So yeah, the Gargoyle Gang stays a step ahead every bit of the way until, inevitably, Johnny Sokko figures everything out.
Yeah.
And ahead of this highly trained secret spy organization.
And then summons Giant Robot.
Yes.
However, one thing I liked about it was I really actually knowing the level, the like budget and quality of the time.
Right.
I really like Dragon.
Yeah, the monster from episode 6, Dragon, the ninja monster. Okay, so first let's do this in order. The monster in episode 5 was kind of forgettable. It's a giant hand.
I made the comment. It was like they were going to make this super. They have a giant robot. We'll make a colossal robot. What do you mean we ran out of money building the left hand?
Right.
Does it work? Does it work?
It works. Then put rockets on it.
Oh.
Okay. It's a fairly ridiculous monster, but to be fair, we're in the early 1960s. This show is a contemporary of Ultraman,
Mm-hmm.
just to put it in perspective. And
I would actually say in that episode, as far as quote unquote monster of the week, Spider was a more entertaining, a better villain than the actual giant robot.
Right. But now in episode 6, the titular monster, Dragon, the ninja monster. Basically, imagine if Godzilla was a flying squirrel
That could turn invisible.
that could basically poof, and ninja vanish. I have to say, it was a cool looking monster. My favorite part, though, is the temper tantrum he throws when he can't ninja vanish.
He's trying to ninja. He's like, ugh.
And it's just a small puff of smoke.
And then he starts stomping his feet and doing a little dance. But then also just from the jump, they establish what an awful monster this is. Just from the beginning, it's the Segovian spy plane, and then the dragon's like, "Pop, F your plane!"
Yeah.
Munch, 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 munch.
Yeah.
F your submarine!
Yes.
Munch, 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 munch.
I mean, they do actually establish that the monster is a threat early on until Giant Robo shows up and more or less runs a train on him after he apparently runs out of smoke pellets. I don't know.
But I mean, and this is again just another eerily solid tokusatsu villain organization plan, which is we're going to use this giant ninja monster to highly escalate tensions between two rival nations and cause a war.
Yeah.
And this will ultimately cause a new world war that will will ruin the world.
And make everything right for us to just waltz in and take over. It's really, really weird when you stop and actually start looking at some of these, because to be perfectly honest, it's as if, and what I'm literally doing right now is I'm checking to see who wrote these episodes. Because they seem to go from perfectly credible, super villain plot, worldwide, conquering plans, like in episode 4, where they're going to destroy all the oil fields in the Middle East and plunge the world into chaos, to let's steal some metal and make some planes.
And then there was the one I'm kidnapping people to enslave them to mine gold to build me a solid gold castle.
Yeah.
That one was not so great.
So there's some wild quality control in that regard. And actually, episodes 5 and 6 were written by the same person. So, who had nothing to do with writing episode 4, which is the one with the oil plot. So, there you go. It looks like Masaru Agami actually writes most of these episodes. What's something you didn't care for?
The Unicorn Organization.
Yeah.
I know we've already gone into it in depth, but just the fact that consistently, other than this 12-year-old boy and his robot, U3 occasionally blunders into a situation and just kind of kung fu's his way through it.
And doesn't even kung fu his way well.
Yeah,
but
I mean he does some kung fu that makes Captain Kirk look real good.
Yes,
real good.
He does throw some mean looking Kirk chops through the course of this. Yeah, I pretty much have to agree. The Unicorn Organization right now, I get that in Japan it's called Giant Robo, and in the US it's Johnny Sokko, so I get who the title characters are.
And no, don't get me wrong, they are, as far as in the plot, they are highly capable and strong, yes. and as they should be, because they're the heroes, folks.
Yes. But this is supposed to be an international peacekeeping, super secret spy organization. If it wasn't for this giant robot and a 12-year-old kid, the world would be screwed in this series, apparently.
They'd be flying the gargoyle flag.
Yes. which I'm sure would look only marginally better than the unicorn flag.
Which looks more like actually looks more like a pro rugby team flag.
It kind of does. It kind of does. But we've basically come to the conclusion that there's only two capable individuals working for Unicorn, and it's Johnny Sokko and then U5, the girl.
Yeah, she's actually. Oh, actually, that is one thing I liked about it is upon realizing that there's a bomb in the room, U5. I mean, she gets up, she grabs it, and she just immediately hauls butt at it, like to get it as far away from the leaders as possible. So, yeah, I stand corrected. Yeah, U5 shows her quality in that episode.
Yes. There's two capable agents.
Because no, I mean, of course, Giant Robo flies in and saves her and gets the bomb, but no, she was not expecting to be saved by it. She was fully expecting to basically sacrifice herself to save the leadership of Unicorn.
And and of course, because it is a super secret spy organization and a timer on a bomb, when she falls and looks at it and goes, "It's too late," the countdown timer on the bomb is 10, as in 10 seconds. And so the countdown timer is a lying, cheating healer. And just, I'm pretty sure it was far longer than 10 seconds, but yeah, dramatic license. So what are we looking forward to? Because we're committed, at least the two of us are. We are committed or will be by the time we get to episode 26. I don't know which, but what are you looking forward to?
Actually, I mean, they've done it in a little way in these two episodes, like the promise of the robot actually like showing him like experiencing like a connection with Johnny Sokko, where even now, where he didn't do it in the first, I don't think he did in the first few episodes, that when Johnny gives the command, the robot will say like a one-word command, like it's acknowledging what he's telling him to do.
So I'm looking forward to just more of, frankly, 1960s ridiculousness, because I've watched tokusatsu from a wide range of eras. I've seen stuff from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s and the 20-teens. And the 60s is a largely unexplored area for me when it comes to tokusatsu, outside of a handful of Godzilla movies and I think most of the first season of Ultraman. I haven't seen a whole lot. But this is, honest to goodness, it is one of the seminal tokusatsu series of its time. I mean, this was one of Toei's first big toku hit shows. So, as I recall correctly, this was actually running concurrent to the Giant Robo manga.
Oh, wow.
So, that's the time frame this is in. So that's why there might not be a lot of similarities between the manga plot line and this one. But we shall see. We are now 6 episodes in, which means we've got 20 to go. Should be fairly interesting to see more Johnny Sokko, and we'll try not to make it 4 or 5 months between viewings next time. So, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. Of course, you can check out Josh along with Will and Roger over on Chopsaki Cinema on Wednesdays, so don't forget to check them out. And, of course, check out the Denzi Blitz on Tuesdays, where it's me just running through shows much faster than 2 episodes an episode, like we do here on Denzicaster. But don't forget to check those 2 out. If you want to help us out here at the ECS Network, you can go pick up yourself some cool merch at cafepress.com/ECS Network. That's where the lighting came from that we're using now. And yes, and where other equipment and whatnot, improvements to the channel come from there. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. We'd greatly appreciate it. And let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you love Johnny Sokko? Do you not love Johnny Sokko? Are you the one guy that ripped us a new one when we talked about episode 1 and just really didn't know what we were getting ourselves into?
Well, hey, but no, we read that comment and we went back to watch it, and we had a more open mind because of it, and actually enjoyed the series a lot more because of it. So
absolutely. So let us know what you think in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Mike.
I'm Josh.
And we'll see you on Denzicaster.
Woo woo!